Shin Godzilla, probably the most terrifying and depressing depiction of Godzilla Toho has ever made. In this video, we will be explaining every form of Shin Godzilla, the full story of Shin Godzilla, and how it became the terrifying beast we know it has today. First of all, what exactly is Shin Godzilla? Shin Godzilla is a prehistoric life form that has been surviving in the waters of Japan, and it was exposed to radioactive waste. Then it kept mutating and evolving until it became Shin Godzilla. The first form of Shin Godzilla is just an ancient sea creature that has somehow been living in the waters of Japan, and it fed on radioactive waste dumped by America in the 1950s. We don't actually see what this form looks like, but according to concept art, it looks like a tadpole with little cute hind legs that haven't fully developed yet. Isn't it adorable? The second form is what happened after it started evolving and mutating. This form is called Kamada-kun. Unlike the first form, it can survive on land, though it's not fully adapted to survive on land yet. But this form and all future forms are actually constantly suffering and burning alive because how hot his radioactive blood is. This form is constantly pouring out so much blood and boiling blood out of its gills. This is because its gills and organs in its gills are actually melting and burning off with its constantly burning radioactive blood. Once its gills and organs will melt away, it will start growing lungs. The third form of Shin Godzilla is called Shinagawa-kun. This form finally adapted to surviving on land. It has lungs and its gills closed up, but like all forms, it's constantly burning. Since its blood is making it burn, it's so in so much agony and fear constantly. So it's running around because how scared and how much pain it is. Since it's burning up so much, it actually pukes out its blood to cool itself down. And its roars, those aren't normal roars. Those are actually screams in agony. The fourth form of Shin Godzilla, and the final form actually shown in the movie, looks a lot more like normal Godzilla we see in other films. This form is actually so radioactive, just being near it can cause cancer. And a lot of people didn't notice this, but the reason why it's so dark in color is actually because its blood literally cooked itself alive because how radioactive and burning its blood is. Since this Shin Godzilla form is so radioactive and so powerful, it can actually use its heat ray. This form of Shin Godzilla is also 400 feet tall, so it can crush buildings with its legs and its body. After Shin Godzilla was fed a blood coagulate, his whole body kind of shut down in a hibernating stage. During this stage, he evolved to look similar to humans. His tail is now covered in what seems to be mummified, mutated human corpses with Godzilla-like dorsal plates. While he is in this form, it can apparently fly. While we don't know how it can fly, it probably used its wings. During this form, it would actually split itself into multiple mini forms that look similar to the mummified corpses on its tail, and these mini forms would work together as a hive mind to destroy Earth. The sixth form is way more powerful than the fifth form. The sixth form of Shin Godzilla doesn't need food, water, or air to survive. And since Shin Godzilla feeds off of pure radiation, it probably just produces its own radiation out of nothingness. Though we don't see this form in the movie, we do have a deleted scene to explain what it does in this form. Shin Godzilla seems to become completely cooked in this form, and it completely melted because how hot it is from being radioactive, and it becomes a giant fleshy mass that also grows eyes, teeth, and even maybe other things. This fleshy mass eventually engulfs Earth, and even the whole universe. The seventh form is where things start to get crazy, and you thought it couldn't get even more crazy, since the whole point of Shin Godzilla is to keep evolving until it basically becomes a powerful god. This form of Shin Godzilla can create matter and energy out of nothingness. It might even be able to create a basic universe inside of its body, and maybe even create its own life forms out of nothingness. Even though there are no official things about the eighth form, Shin Godzilla is supposed to keep evolving and mutating until it's so powerful and so unkillable that it can destroy anything it wants and nothing can destroy it. So eventually, theoretically, it will literally become so powerful until it reaches the limit of power, where nothing can literally, physically, spiritually, I don't even know what powerful than Shin Godzilla. So eventually, it will become so powerful it can create completely anything it wants. It controls everything because its flesh engulfs the whole universe, and this form exists in space, and since its flesh spread everywhere, it is the entire universe.